Hello, so I did say you wouldn't see me again, but unfortunately it is me again. So we're now going to have a look at these fantastic concepts that John and his team have been doing in Cardiff. So if you remember this morning, we collected your ideas of concepts they could create in the next 5 hours. So we're here, their time is up, so hopefully they've got something cool to show us. So John and Ian, can I hand over to you guys and see what you've created?
Yes, you certainly can, Dan, and welcome back to Cardiff, everybody. So this is the Welsh Ant and Dec reporting for duty. So actually, first of all, thank you to the people that sort of challenged us through the chat. So we've captured all of those, which we'll show you in a minute. Just so some of the facilities we showed you earlier on, our guys have been busy, or our design team has been busy putting these concepts together. So we're just going to show you talk you through a presentation because it just makes some of the concepts come alive. So if you can flick us to the presentation screen. These are the results. So hopefully you can see these on screen now. So a total of 7 requests. And we've identified them as a problem and who was the requester, who suggested the problem and what the solution could be. Hopefully, Sean, we've taken your name as we saw it on the screen, so we think that's Sean Jones, but it seems to be with all characters that are not recognised.
She's got to be from up our way, John.
Yeah, you've got to be Welsh, Sean. Yeah, so anyway, welcome. But just to run you through, so yeah, Mick requested RFID and an FZ83 and FZ55, and Dirk already answered your question through the chat, so thank you for that, Dirk. An ATEX version of an A3 that Sean requested, that's actually technically possible. It depends obviously on what level. I can see you've said there's zone 1 and 2. Zone 0 is the most difficult, so that would be possibly a certification piece or potentially a variant of a product, Ian, wouldn't it?
Yeah, very difficult to do that one at concept and day because we'd have to engage with third-party suppliers, particularly around the certification side of things anyway. So we've decided to not do that one today.
And the A3, Sean, also with a digitizer, that is technically possible. And it's true to say that's more common on a Windows platform, not so common on Android devices, but technically that's possible. So that's something that it's always a sort of a numbers game based on ROI. So that could be something that we could consider for the next generation of the A3. Dennis, you sort of given us an interesting one there for a 17-inch FZ55 with a numpad. So that's something that potentially we could sort of entertain more with you. So we'd like to understand a bit more detail around even on the current 55, so putting a 17-inch screen on the 55 wouldn't be possible at this moment in time, but maybe a sort of a number pad that was attached to the side of it, detachable, maybe integrated into some part of the product, could be possible. And then the FZ83, which we'll come to in a minute, the G1 we'll come to in a minute, and then the Frederick also asked for an FZ55 with a PCMCIA slot and a HDD. I don't know if you know, or you won't know yet, Frederick, but actually we're working on an encrypted 2.5-inch SSD, which will be available in January. That could be easily adopted to fit a rotating 2.5-inch HDD drive. If you can, Frederick, we wouldn't mind actually talking to you about a PC card solution, because that's something that we
hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, we've had a couple of requests.
Another request we've had for that in recent weeks.
Yeah, so we'd like to do that. But what we've done, guys, is focus then on the ones that you can see highlighted in red. So that's the FZ83 with a Windstream wiper and a G1 with a multi-touch fingerprint reader in, yeah?
Yep.
So we're going to show you what we've done. Do you want to talk us through this, Ian?
So yeah, this was, and the guys are really challenged and baffled by this one, first of all. So this is the FZ83 with a screen wiper as a concept. And as you can see, yeah, we've attached a wiper motor to pretty much the top right-hand corner of the display. And you can't get full coverage of the screen, which, I don't know, we need to understand a bit more about the use case here. But if we just see the next slide.
And I think that's important, isn't it? Because that's the beauty of sort of sketching something. Is it brings it, this is the first stage in that concept in a day.
Correct,
it brings
yeah.
it to life that you can see, well, actually, yeah, that would give you a problem for maybe a portion of the screen.
And the limitation here is that you can't put the wiper in the middle of the screen because you could be blocking the camera, the light sensor,
antennas and other
so
things,
you
yeah.
angle it to either corner. The downside of that, then, if you did want to go ahead with this concept, is that we'd need to put some sort of power related battery onto the back of the device, causing this huge bulge on the back. But there's a motor going to be in there as well as a rechargeable battery. The screws can be relocated to better on the concept and the gadgets being used. and the aim here is to not try and distract any of the typical batteries which are already in the FZ-A3.
And that's what I like again about this process is the way that the design team think is about, well, what else? You know, how would you use the product? So we need to keep the batteries accessible. There could be a carrying option that we might need to consider. I even like that they've also looked for benefits. So that additional housing on the backside, that 30-degree angle, gives you a benefit that if you place it onto a flat surface, it positions the product so you would be easy to sort of tap the keyboard or type into the device itself. So there are additional benefits. But I think what's the most interesting point here, Ian?
We jumped ahead a little bit, John, and by delivering a concept without fully understanding the problem first.
Well, we've almost sort of defined the solution, haven't we? And I think that's what we were keen on saying. Our process is always about understanding the problem and trying to define what the problem is, and then look at what the solutions are. But that's why we purposefully included this one, because we don't know how many thousand. Who was it requested it? So we can get a purchase order for a number of thousand of these. We'd be happy to put a windscreen wiper on a device.
And, there's a lot of assumptions that we made here. We assume that this is going to be used in rain environment. Is it permanently in rain environment?Es it come in and out of wet and dry environments?
Yeah.
We really don't know. But I just wanted to, whoever made this request, is just expose them to a product that we actually launched, which was an additional accessory to one of our already docking stations. So if we understand a bit more about the use case, we can understand, why do they want a wiper blade? Where are they using this? The environmental is absolutely key to understand. And, could we implement something different with a hood, a hood or an umbrella type solution?
It's keeping those, knowing what the problem is and then knowing
Correct,
what potential solutions could fix that problem. So that's why we chose that one, because that's an interesting one. But okay, so on to the next one. I think this is a concept for and we are familiar with such products. We've done a single fingerprint reader for Wendy's in the US before, and we developed out of Cardiff.
That's more for authentication, for logging onto devices.
Correct.
And that kind of stuff. So,
and this type of solution is for person identification,
correct,
isn't it? Yeah.
Things like border crossings, the passport control, that kind of
Police
stuff.
and
Light industries, who wants to take people's fingerprints and that kind of stuff. So the guys are really challenged by this one, and they come up with two concepts that could potentially work. So we would have to work with a partner, 5.0, for a biometrics fingerprint reader. And what the guys have done then, they've created this housing which kind of goes around the FZ G1 with the fingerprint front facing. So the fingerprint needs to be front facing because you need to be scanning. You need to be able to see what you're scanning on the screen of the tablet. So you can't put it on the back of the device or anywhere else.
Yeah, and it's a bit difficult to sort of gauge there, but that G1 that you can see in the top left of the picture is actually upside down, isn't it? So you would hold it with the fingerprint reader away from you.
Yeah.
So if you were doing the identification of a person, that person would place their 5 fingers on top of the device while you're holding the device. But I also like the way they consider them, well, probably because of the form factor, you would use a hand strap.
Correct, yeah.
I like that, yeah. So that's like an extended tablet version. So the next one is a
similar concept. All we've done here is added a hinge on it. So same strap, same kind of use case, but you can stow away the fingerprint reader if it's not needed at that particular time. Although you are limited by the screen use and that, maybe we need to flip the hinge around so it folds backwards so we can still use the tablet. But within 5 hours, these guys have worked tremendously hard. They've been really challenged over the last couple of hours, and I actually seen one of them sweating earlier, I think.
and that's really the value, guys. So what we've shown you there is basically a quick whistle-stop tour of how that concept in a day process would work. So it's presenting us with a challenge. We spend a lot of time, as we said earlier on, defining what the problem is, and then it's not all about a solution. Potentially there's a number of solutions to achieving or to fixing the problem that you have. So hopefully, Dan, that's been enough. We couldn't do all of them based on time because we've only got a relatively small design team, but they've all been busy beavering away today. So, but thank you guys to everybody that contributed.
If anybody does want to follow up on any of these, just drop us a line,
Definitely.
drop us an email, get in touch. We'd like to move
Definitely.
forward with any of these.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
possibilities.
Okay, Dan? Did you learn anything then, Dan?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I was just reading the chat and seeing if any suggestions came up. Yes, no, I love the windscreen wiper. I don't know why I want it, but I really want it.
It would look cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, could you get that done by Monday, created for me?
What colour would you like, Dan?
Oh, you know me, pink.
Here's one we prepared earlier in the 3D printer, actually. Yeah, so it's just about ready.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. No, that was great. Thank you, guys. And I think hopefully that shows you how quickly the guys can create these concepts. So if you or if one of your customers has an issue, they can't quite figure out how to get around, then maybe there's something we can do, creating a custom solution or add-on or something that the guys can do, and they can create that incredibly quickly, as we see. So thank you, John and Ian, and thank you for all the design team back there. So that, I promise you, is the last time you'll see me. So thank you so much for joining us. And please stick around for Kevin Jones's final sign-off. Thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.